Hey everyone, it's me Damien and welcome back to another episode of the SN95 project series here on my channel. It's actually been a long time since I made the previous episode, and I also want to apologize for the lack of videos lately. I've just been pretty busy this semester, quite a lot of assignments and other things going on, but I do my best to constantly make progress on the car. And since it's been, I don't know, a month or so since I made the last video, there's actually a lot of things that I'm going to now update you on, so make sure to watch until the end because I have a lot of updates right now. So yeah. So if we take a look at the engine bay right now, we can still see that the block is not back in yet, but the good news is that the block, all the parts of the block are here, all the new pistons, everything is ready. So it's only a matter of a few days until me and my father begin reassembling the block, which shouldn't really even take that long. So, but just what's taken so long is just to clean the engine bay. I'm not going to show you the progress we have made. This whole part of the front suspension, which I took off, was completely covered in oil. I mean, as we can see, it's still not fully clean. I'm still yet to finish cleaning it, but I just had to take it apart and just clean it because installing a freshly rebuilt engine and a transmission into an engine bay, I mean, that's not even clean, is not really a smart idea, is it? And also, yeah, so this part, as you may or may not know, it goes right here. So yeah, I've taken it apart. Plus I'm replacing a bunch of the suspension components like the sway bars and stuff. So I was like, I might as well just take apart the part of the suspension off. So yeah, this whole part, as I said, here was also completely covered in oil. As you can see, it's actually almost ready now. As well as this over there, like right under where the brake booster is, it's like a rusty spot. So me and my father are gonna have to take care of that rust spot before eventually the whole engine bay starts rusting. So gonna remove the rust, repaint it and make sure we fix that rust, because that's literally the only rust I've like noticed on the car. So I really want to take care of it before the rust expands and gets much bigger. The rust spot gets much bigger. As you can see, the brake booster is currently off because it was rusty on the surface. So we ended up, and it's in good condition, so we ended up repainting it. So yeah, basically it's just a matter of cleaning the engine bay, whatever there is left, taking care of that rust spot, installing back the brake booster, and then the next step, of course, is to get the block back in here with the new engine mounts. So yeah. What I'm also going to do is take apart the front bumper, because inside the actual bumper I've already had like a little sneak peek. There's like a bunch of spider webs and stuff, so I'm going to take it apart, clean it. And also when installing the block back, the engine crane is going to have to go all the way up to here, so I don't want to risk damaging the front bumper, and I'm going to need space to get the engine hoist as close as possible to the front of the frame. So, and also, I mean, I need to repaint the whole bumper. It's got a bunch of rock chips and everything in here, so it will be a good idea to just take apart the bumper and take care of it. So just to give you a quick rundown of what happened in order for me to rebuild these cylinder heads. So apart from getting the cylinder heads resurfaced, I did everything else by myself on these cylinder heads. Of course, with the help and advice from a few of my teachers. So yeah, being an automotive major in university, I'm really happy that I have the chance to rebuild cylinder heads. Last semester, I took it for a class, and I am also yet to take other classes such as engine overhaul. So I'm really enjoying it, and my major and everything, so I'm really happy. So let me quickly give you a rundown. So what I did was, originally when I got the heads, I took them apart and I put them in a caustic tank for a few days to get them really nice and clean. And after that, I basically started doing measurements. I checked all my valves, I checked all my springs, they were good. So basically the valves, I did some valve refinishing, I resurfaced the face of the valves. Also, I did some refinishing on the valve tip, just usual things you would do to valves if you were to reuse them. So yeah, that's what happened. So all the valves and the springs were good, so I didn't have to buy new ones. After that, what I did was I checked all my valve guides, and I had to replace, on this head, I had to replace two of these two exhaust guides because they were worn out, so the valve really wasn't sitting very well. It was moving quite a bit, so I ended up replacing those two valve guides. Also, after that, I redid all my valve seats. I basically resurfaced them. I did the 3-angle valve job, so that's the 45 degrees, the 60 and the 31. And I then took the heads for them to be resurfaced because they were a little bit warped, and just it gives you that really nice new surface for the gasket eventually when you apply it. So that's what I did. I also got just new valve seals. Obviously, whenever you're rebuilding cylinder heads, you would always replace the valve seals, and of course new freeze plugs. So yeah, that's the cylinder heads. They're ready for installation once the block is rebuilt, and I am certainly looking forward to the horsepower gain I will get from this, because they say that the GT40 heads will give you about another 20 to 40 horsepower. So yeah, definitely been a great learning experience for me, and one day I am already thinking maybe of upgrading to aluminum heads once I have the money. But for now, the GT40 heads are definitely, I think, will be a nice addition to the freshly rebuilt block. Block is right here. I just brought it back from our automotive building in university a few days ago. So basically, I did a lot of cleaning. I did all my measurements, so I only had to rehome the cylinders. But to do that, I didn't want to take forever. Plus, it's reholding cylinders is not something I've done yet, so I didn't want to risk messing something up. So I decided to take it to the same machine shop that resurfaced my heads. So yeah, they rehomed the cylinders for me, and then the block is now ready. I also have the camshaft and the crankshaft right over here in these boxes. They're also ready for installation. They're both in good condition. So yeah, I mean, all the parts are here right now. It's just a matter of, as I said, finish cleaning the engine bay and then start putting it back together. And speaking of putting it back together, let me show you the new pistons. Basically, what I did for the pistons was I am going to reuse the connecting rods because they're perfectly fine condition, but I decided to just upgrade the pistons because, I mean, the total cost for the rebuild kit for the Mustang is not even that much for the engine. So I was like, let me just get new pistons. And yeah, if we take a look, so what I would do is I would press the wrist pin on the old pistons off, and then basically I would heat up the connecting rod, the top part, and then install it to the new pistons. And yeah, they look really nice, and I cannot wait to install them. Alright, so as you just saw, the cylinder heads and all the other components are pretty much ready. So all we have to do is put the block back together and then basically put it back in the car. But before we put it back together, we've decided to paint the cylinder heads and the block blue, this color right here. And basically we decided to do that because we just want to prevent, first we want to make it look really nice, and also we just want to prevent it from rusting in the future as well. So just imagining the block and the cylinder heads in this color of blue will make it really nice, because obviously you don't want it to be this, we don't really want it to be the same color as the car, sapphire blue. So we decided to go with a lighter blue, and yeah, I think it will look really nice. And of course, before repainting the block, we're also going to paint, first of all, put on a good coat of primer before applying the paint. So, of course, restoring a car comes with a lot of new parts needed, and I'm now going to show you all the new parts that have recently arrived for the restoration. Begin with, in this box, we decided to obviously, buy a new clutch and a new flywheel. Originally, we had the idea of potentially reusing the flywheel, but it having a little bit of rust, we decided to just get a new flywheel. As well as this, right here we have new engine and transmission mounts. Right here we have new sway bar links in a bunch. Oh yeah, we also got what are these? Oh yeah, the new brake hose kit. And then in this box right here I have all the remaining parts for the engine rebuild, like the piston rings and all of that. Right here is something very interesting I got a new mid pipe. As we can see right here, this is the MagnaFlow catted X pipe I decided to go with. Originally, as you know, I was planning to reuse my stock mid pipe, but I decided, hey, let me just upgrade. And this is the MagnaFlow, as I said, MagnaFlow catted X pipe, a fully stainless steel. So I decided to upgrade, and also the catalytic converters are high flow, so that should give a few more horsepower technically. Yeah, I don't want to go super loud, so I didn't think of getting an off-road mid pipe would be a very, very clever idea. So I decided to go with a catted mid pipe, and yeah, that's that. And as well as this, I have an aluminum drive shaft right here, which arrived just yesterday. Yeah, originally I didn't even plan on upgrading the drive shaft, but seeing that the yoke on my stock one was worn out, and considering it's covered in quite a bit of rust, you know, I think it will be just a nice upgrade. Plus, you know, I mean, just about every review you look at the aluminum drive shafts, you always hear good reviews. You know how, of course, it's more lightweight, it reduces vibrations. So I was like, you know, might as well just go ahead and get a new drive shaft. So all the parts I just showed you are not exactly all the new parts we have. I'm going to now go downstairs into the basement and show you where we've just put a lot of the parts, because obviously we don't want to take up a lot of space here in the garage for the rebuild. So basically, you know, just put all the parts, and once it's ready for reassembly, we'll just take them back here upstairs into the garage and then start putting it back together. So alright, so I'm currently in the basement of the house, and this is basically the area where we're keeping a bunch of the parts. I mean, a lot of them are just the stock components that we cleaned, that are in good condition, that we don't need to replace. Also, a bunch of the new parts are here, like the new radiator, just other parts that need to yet be installed, of course. As well as this, the new catback is sitting right over here. So right here is the new catback for the Mustang. It is the MagnaFlow Street catback. So yeah, full stainless steel. I mean, already when I got the Mustang, I knew I was going to upgrade. You know, at the end of the day, MagnaFlow is MagnaFlow, you know, it's really good quality. So yeah. So I'm now back in the garage, and basically now that all the exhaust components are here, to give you a rundown of what the exhaust will be, it will be my stock headers, the catted X pipe from MagnaFlow, and the MagnaFlow Street catback. So apart from all the updates on the engine rebuild and of course all the new parts I got for the car, there are two big dilemmas I have going on in my mind. The first one is regarding the wheels. Looking at the wheels, my plan is that I definitely want to get new wheels for the car. I have nothing against the stock wheels, but they've all been curbed. So if I were to want to use them, I would have to take them to a shop that will basically take care of all the bad areas of the wheel that where they've been curbed. And I just, you know, I just want the new wheels that will give it a new look and that's closer to my taste. Like I said, I'm definitely going to keep the stock wheels, and let's say whenever I'm going to some car shows, I'll probably put them back on potentially. But I just want to get new wheels that I think I will like personally more, that will look better on the car. So speaking of wheels, there's so many options out there in the aftermarket for these SN95 Mustangs, and basically my plan is to either currently get the Saline replica wheels, the FR500 wheels, or the Cobra R wheels. I mean, let me know what you think. Should I get one of those three wheels I just mentioned, or something completely else? And also, should I stick with 17-inch wheels like these stock ones are, or should I upgrade to 18-inch? Let me know what you think in the comments below. So as well as the wheels, the other dilemma I have with myself is regarding the seats. And my dilemma is, should I get these stock seats reupholstered, or should I, with that roughly same amount of money, should I go ahead and get some racing seats? Speaking of reupholstering the seats, my idea is that I can take off the upholstery, take it with me to Bulgaria this summer, and the upholstery shop that, as you saw in the last video, redid my shifter boot, I could get them to redo the seats in real leather, because obviously if I was to reupholster them, I would go for actual leather, not just some vinyl material, which, as we can see clearly, doesn't hold up that good with age. So yeah, that's the idea. Or I could just get racing seats. I am yet to think about it, but let me know, what would you do in this situation? Would you get the seats reupholstered, or would you get racing seats? Let me know what you think. So moving away real quick from my Mustang and its restoration, I decided to give my father's 1988 Foxbody an introduction to the channel. You've probably seen it, you know, in previous episodes, but so if you were wondering, I decided to just give an introduction to the car. So yeah, as I said, this is my father's Foxbody. He's had the car for almost 10 years now, and originally he bought it back in the Netherlands when we lived there, and coming here to the US, he decided, you know, there's no way I'm selling this. I've put so much work into it, I might as well just take it here, ship it over here. And so that's what he did, and the car is currently here. So yeah, this is his car, his Foxbody. I mean, I'm always really happy whenever he lets me drive it. So yeah, definitely now once the weather gets much better, I am also going to do my best to make videos regarding his Foxbody as well. So yeah, I cannot wait to finish restoring my Mustang and get back on the road, and also then after that this summer attend a number of car meets and car shows with my father. Actually, so far we've attended one car show and I believe 1 or 2 car meets with his Mustang, and yeah, it would be really nice to just start attending with both Mustangs, not just one but 2. So yeah, so that's basically it for this video. I hope it doesn't turn out to be very long, and thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye.